Good morning, everyone at Tushita and online. For those who are on Zoom, could you send me a message on the chat to tell me if I am properly audible? We have a new microphone here, and it's the first time we are using it, so I'm not too sure, but I think it should be better than last week. Please let me know in the chat. And thank you very much. And before we start the meditation this morning, we will establish a proper motivation, Mahayana motivation. So we can consider how since beginningless time we have been trapped in the vicious prison of the mind. We have been taking rebirth countlessly in an uncontrollable way due to the power of karma and afflictions. This life, we are fortunate, we are human. We might not experience too much suffering, but still in our daily lives, we can see that we don't have control over our experiences. When we see the suffering of others, the suffering of animals, we can infer that in previous lives, we must have experienced this as well. And if we don't put an end to our karma and afflictions, continuously we will be reborn again and again without any control. And we can extend that to all sentient beings. All of us are in such a condition. Try to generate a deep sense of compassion so that sentient beings may be free from suffering and the causes of suffering, karma and afflictions. And now I have this precious opportunity. I am born human. I have all my capacities, mental and physical capacities. I met the teachings of the Buddha. So I will put effort to study, contemplate, meditate, and I will transform my mind so that I can be of benefit to all sentient beings, so that I become a Buddha in order to guide all sentient beings unmistakably towards enlightenment. With this thought in mind, we will do 5 minutes of single-pointed meditation. So I'll just quickly recap the posture and the instructions. So the most important thing is your back to be straight. If possible, sit on the floor with your legs crossed, but you can also sit on a chair. As long as your back is straight. If you're sitting on the floor, ideally, your legs would be in full lotus posture. That might be difficult, so you can sit in half lotus or simply cross-legged or in Burmese style with one leg in front of the other. Your hands in a concentration mudra, placed on your lap. So the spine is straight and the neck is aligned with the spine. You can tilt the chin a little bit forward, the shoulders pulled back and relax. Open the heart area, the torso. The tongue slightly touching the upper palate behind the teeth. to reduce the production of saliva. And the eyes are not closed, they are slightly open, gazing 1 or 2 meters in front of you. But it is the mind that meditates, so don't pay attention to what your eyes are apprehending. So we are bringing a mental object to mind. If you are used to single-pointed meditation, you can take the object that you are familiar with. Otherwise, you can visualize between your nose and your upper lip, you can visualize a small drop of white light. You can touch this area if it helps to know where to place your focus, but you are not placing your focus on the body as such, but on this visualized, this imagined small drop of white light. And so you place all your attention there, making effort with mindfulness, not to be distracted, not to fall into laxity and excitement. So these are the two faults that arise during meditation. For a beginner like me, the mind will wander. Every once in a while, my mind will be distracted and not focused on the object anymore. Either I will be thinking about past and future, or my mind will fall into laxity, dullness. So there are two antidotes to that. It is very important to apply introspection, to have a part of the mind constantly checking, am I meditating? Am I still focused on my object? If not, if I notice that I'm not, then immediately it is very important to make the effort to bring the mind back onto the object, and with mindfulness stay there, and do this every time I notice that my mind wanders. So we will try this for the next 5 minutes. Gently come out of the meditation. So yesterday, our teacher Kabirji gave a beautiful introduction to the Lamrim, explaining the greatness of the text and how to listen. I think tonight he will explain how to meditate and might start Precious Human Rebirth. And one of the things Kabirji said is that it was the wish of Lama Zopa Rinpoche that more and more students achieve realizations of the Lamrim. So it's very important to study it. You know, the Lamrim is the graduated path to enlightenment. So now we are very lucky that Kabirji accepted to teach the Lamrim. He will teach a new topic every week. And in the morning, we will do the meditations accordingly. And so in order to achieve realizations, to contemplate the Lamrim and meditate on it, we need to have a lot of merit, and we need to purify our mind. And a very quick way to do that, we will do that before every meditation. We will do the 7 limbs prayers. So I will share my screen. And at Tushita, I think you have it on page 34, if I'm not mistaken. I think, yeah, that's the page that is open there. 35, all right. I hope you can all see my screen. So we'll start with short prayers, taking refuge in generating bodhicitta. Then the 4 immeasurables and 7 limb prayer before every Lamrim meditation. So we can reinforce the motivation that we generated at the beginning of the session. We are doing this practice for the benefit of all sentient beings. And how to benefit sentient beings best is by transforming our mind, getting rid of all the afflictions, all the cognitive obscurations, and become a Buddha in order to guide them unmistakably. We can visualize all sentient beings around us, Father on the right, Mother on the left, and we are guiding all sentient beings into this practice. We will do taking refuge in generating bodhicitta 1 time in English, 2 times in Tibetan. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chedan soge jonam la janjo bado dagne gyalzo je dagi jinzo gipe tsoknam ki jora benje sangye jubara jo sangye chedan soge jonam la janjo bado dagne gyalzo je dagi jinzo gipe tsoknam ki jora benje sangye jubara jo. And to reinforce our bodhicitta, we will recite the four immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. And so this seven-limb prayer is a very skillful means from the Buddha for us to very quickly purify a lot of negative karma and accumulate a lot of merit that will help us to contemplate the graduated path, will help us to achieve realizations quickly. So we will pause at the end of every point to shortly meditate, contemplate on the meaning of what we have just read. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. You can visualize countless Buddhas in front of you, and you can imagine that you are prostrating to them with countless bodies. Imagine all your bodies from countless past lives and future lives. Prostrating next to you, full-length prostration. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. So you can visualize beautiful offerings that you multiply infinitely, because there are infinite, numberless Buddhas. So you offer skies of clouds of beautiful offerings to each and every one of them. Your offerings become numberless, thereby you accumulate incalculable merit. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginning of time. So you can think of the 10 non-virtues that you have done in this life. You can imagine all the 10 non-virtues you must have done in previous lives. And openly confess with a sense, not with a sense of guilt, but with a sense of regret. I don't want to experience the results of these negative actions. Therefore, I want to purify the negative karma that I have accumulated. And I rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Lamazopa Rinpoche used to say that this is a very quick way to accumulate incredible merit. You can rejoice in all the deeds, the virtues performed by Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, all your qualified spiritual teachers. You can think of all the ordained Sangha who are studying, meditating, contemplating, offering service, doing retreats. Wow, wow, wow. You can think of all the good actions you have done in this life. You can imagine all the actions you must have done in previous lives. Rejoice. Then we request our teachers to remain long. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence. You can visualize offering thrones with double Vajras symbolizing immortality, symbolizing indestructibility, long life. To all of your qualified Mahayana and spiritual friends. And turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. So we are requesting them to teach. We are requesting the beings who just became Buddhas to not remain silent, but to please teach us. Please show us the way to be liberated. So you can visualize that you offer them big Dharma wheels, requesting them to teach. I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. And finally, we can quickly offer a short mandala. We'll do this in English. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. So then we'll begin our Lamrim meditation. First, we'll recite the foundation of all good qualities, page 139 in the prayer book, and I'm sharing it on my screen on Zoom. So this is a very short Lamrim prayer, condensed Lamrim prayer composed by Lama Tsongkhapa that contains all the essential points of the Lamrim. So today we'll briefly meditate on the precious human rebirth. Last week we did Guru Devotion, which is the first paragraph here. So today we'll meditate on the second paragraph. But just to bring the blessing of the whole graduated path, we'll read the short prayer and try to contemplate on each and every one of the points. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of black and white karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativities and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking samsaric pleasures is the door to all suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be relied upon. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all modern migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop only bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, the essence of the Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. All right, so we'll quickly meditate on the second point of the Lamrim, that hopefully Kabirji will start teaching tonight, which is the precious human rebirth. Today we'll contemplate on the 8 freedoms of this precious human rebirth. So we are free from 8 states. So I will enumerate them, and for each of them, try to contemplate what it would be like if I was born in these situations. Would I be able to practice the Dharma? Would I be able to study, contemplate, meditate, and transform my mind if I was in one of these states? So we have 8 freedoms. There are 2 pairs of 4. The first 4 are related to non-human states. First one is that I am free from being born in the hell realm. We will study this with Kabirji later. The hell realms, we are constantly feeling the suffering of pain, and therefore there is no mental space at all to think about Dharma. Then I'm free from being born in the hungry ghost realm. What would it be like being born as a hungry ghost? Would I be able to practice the Dharma? Then I'm free from being born as an animal. Can you imagine being born as an animal in the wilderness, constantly scared of being eaten by another bigger animal, and basically just thinking about basic necessities like food, sleep, not much capacity, mental capacity to contemplate the Dharma. Then finally, I'm free from being born as a long-life God. It might sound good to have such a life as a God, just enjoying pleasure, no suffering of pain for a very long time, for a very long life, only enjoying pleasure, only towards the time of death, being scared to fall again in the lower realms, that this pleasure will come to an end. But can you imagine this long life, just enjoying pleasure, because there is no experience of pain, and there is no, we don't feel the necessity to contemplate the Dharma. And for this long life, we are just basically wasting our stocks of merit, of positive potential, of positive karma. And at the end of that long life, again and again, I will be reborn continuously in suffering states. So I'm very fortunate. I'm free from being born in these realms. I have this precious human rebirth where I have balance of pleasure and pain that allows me, with all my capacities, to contemplate the Dharma, to meditate, to transform my mind. How fortunate, how lucky. Then the next four freedoms pertain to human states. Free from being born at a time when no Buddha has appeared in this world. Can you imagine being born 2,700 years ago? The Buddha hasn't appeared. Without his teachings, would I understand my condition? Would I be able to free myself from suffering and its causes and lead all sentient beings to the end of suffering? I'm free from being born in a remote country where there are no Dharma teachings. So basically a country where there is no Sangha. There are no ordained monks and nuns preserving the teachings, living in morality, and teaching the Dharma to others. I'm so fortunate. I'm born in a country with a lot of Sangha. They are giving teachings, they are helping others, they are helping me. How fortunate, how lucky. And I'm free from being born with impaired mental or physical faculties. Can you imagine being born with a mental disorder or a severe physical handicap? How would it be like? Would I be able to practice the Dharma then? So I'm born with all my mental and physical faculties. How lucky, how fortunate. And then finally, I'm free from holding wrong views, such as denying the law of cause and effect, such as denying the existence of nirvana, enlightenment, the three jewels of refuge, past and future lives, and so on. I'm so lucky, I'm so fortunate. I don't have these wrong views. Therefore, I'm eager to study, eager to contemplate and meditate and transform my mind. So for a minute, try to generate a great sense of joy that you are free from these 8 inopportune situations, and focus single-pointedly on that experience of joy. Then finally, we'll dedicate the merits. So we'll share my screen again. And at Tushita If you go back to page 35, after the 7 limb and the mandala, there is some short dedication prayer that we will use. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. So may we all become Buddhas very soon in order to eliminate suffering and the causes of suffering of all our dear mother sentient beings. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. And if you didn't have the chance to join yesterday, the teaching of Kabirji, there is a recording available on our YouTube channel. And so the next teaching will be tonight, I believe at 6:30. And I will see you all on Wednesday morning at 9 for the next meditation on precious human rebirth. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.